in accordance with Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990. If you require a disability-related modification or accommodation to attend or participate in this meeting, including auxiliary aids or services, please call the City Clerk's office at 310-952-1720 at least 48 hours prior to the meeting. Public information. The public may address the members of the City Council on any matters within the jurisdiction of the City Council or on any items on the agenda of the City Council during the designated public comment periods. There will be 2 oral communications sessions, one for agendized items, comment about items on the agenda, and the other for non-agendized items, comments about items not on the agenda. The oral communication portion of the agenda is limited to a duration of 1 hour unless otherwise approved by the City Council. Comment time is normally 3 minutes, depending on the number of speakers. Public viewing available by live stream on the city's website. The meeting will be streamed live over the internet, www.carsonca.gov, or on YouTube, www.youtube.com/c/City of Carson, California, official YouTube page. Cable Spectrum, Channel 35, and AT&T, Channel 99. If you're unable to attend the meeting in person, public comments can be submitted before the meeting. Email. Public comments can be emailed to cityclerk@carsonca.gov. The cutoff time to submit any email communications is 3 p.m. on the day of the meeting. Written communications can be dropped off at the City Clerk's office at City Hall. The cutoff time to submit any written communications is 3 p.m. on the day of the meeting. Written communications dropped off at the City Clerk's office or any email received will not be read aloud at council meetings, but will be circulated to City Council and incorporated into the minutes. Thank you. Today, Tuesday, July 1st, I'm calling to order the City of Carson Housing Authority, Successor Agency, Public Financing Authority, and the City Council. Roll call, Madam City Clerk.
Councilwoman Rojas. Present. Councilman Deere.
Here.
Councilman Hilton. Present. Mayor Pro Tem Hicks.
Present.
Mayor Davis Holmes.
Present. We'll have a flag salute by a councilwoman. Now that she's walking in, she doesn't need to. She don't have to sit down.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
That cannot happen. That is horrible.
Oh, and I'm excited that we have our pastor, Althea Cream, from the Institute of Tolerance for our Invocation. Pastor.
I greet you with the Islamic greeting. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon you and the mercy and blessings of God. I wish to thank the mayor for graciously inviting me to give this invocation this evening. As we approach the 4th of July holidays, it becomes incumbent on us to never forget the principles upon which this great nation was founded. And today, as the clouds of fear and uncertainty hover above us, and as economic and food insecurity plagues families, it becomes more essential for us to rise with an ethical and moral consciousness to support and heal our souls in communities. Let's pray. In the name of God, most gracious, most merciful. O Lord, we appear you with humble hearts and hopeful minds. Put peace and love in our hearts for the diversity that makes our city so beautiful. Lord, most strong, give us the strength to protect and care for our neighbors. Lord, most merciful, allow us to show kindness to those most vulnerable in society. Protect us from evil. Inspire and guide us in defending those open to abuse. Allah, our sustainer, allow us to care for our environment and sustain this world for future generations. Lord, most gracious, grant us patience to learn from one another, remove prejudice from our hearts, and enable us to love our brothers and sisters of all faiths. I thank you, God, for these your servants, the mayor and the city council members, and for this way of service they have chosen to take up on behalf of all of us here. Guide them in the decisions they will make for the inhabitants of this city, and show them the path of justice and equity, so that you will be glorified through their decisions for the city of Carson. Amen.
Thank you. Closed session items 2 through 4. Madam City Clerk, any comments on closed session items?
No, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. City Attorney, announcement of closed session items, please.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. The City Council will meet in closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9 D1 to confer with legal counsel regarding pending litigation to which the city is a party. The title of the litigation is Cam Carson LLC versus Carson Reclamation Authority, City of Carson, and successor agency to the Carson Redevelopment Agency, Los Angeles Superior Court, case number 20 STCV 16461. The City Council will hold a closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9 D1 to confer with legal counsel regarding pending litigation to which the City of Carson is a party. The title of such litigation is Santiago Garcia Jr. versus City of Carson, Los Angeles Superior Court, case number 24 CMCV 00079. And the City Council will meet in closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6 with City Manager, Assistant City Manager, and Human Resources Officer, its negotiators, regarding labor negotiations with Service Employees International Union, SEIU 721 CPSA, and American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, AFSCME Local 809, part-time. That concludes my report.
Thank you. We're going to recess the closed session, and we should be back in about an hour. Thank you. Rules of decorum. No person attending a public meeting will engage in disorderly or boisterous conduct, including but not limited to applause, whistling, stamping of feet, booing, or making any loud, threatening, or profane, abusive, personal, or slanderous utterance that disturbs, disrupts, or otherwise impedes the orderly conduct of the meeting. All remarks by members of the public shall be addressed to the mayor or the chair and not to any other member of the public or any single council, board, or commission member, unless in response to a question that the member. Signs, placards, banners, or other similar items shall not be permitted in the audience during a public meeting. All persons attending a public meeting shall obey any lawful order of the presiding officer to enforce the rules of decorum. Treat everyone courteously, listen to others respectfully, exercise self-control, give open-minded consideration to all viewpoints, focus on the issues and avoid personalizing debate, embrace respectful disagreement and dissent as democratic rights that are inherent components of an inclusive public process and tools for forging sound decisions.
We're going to reconvene the city council meeting. We're going to reconvene the city council meeting. City attorney reporting closed session action.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. The City Council met in closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9 D1 to confer with legal counsel regarding pending litigation to which the city is a party. The title of the litigation is Cam Carson versus Carson Reclamation Authority, City of Carson, and successor agency to the Carson Redevelopment Agency, LA Superior Court, case number 20 STCV 16461. No reportable action was taken. The City Council met in closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D1 to confer with legal counsel regarding pending litigation to which the city is a party. The title of such litigation is Santiago Garcia versus City of Carson, LA Superior Court, case number 24 CMCV 00079, and no reportable action was taken. And the city council met in closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6 with city manager, assistant city manager, and human resources officer, its negotiators regarding labor negotiations with SEIU 721 CPSA and AFSCME Local 809 part-time, and no reportable action was taken. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Is the captain in? Is she here yet? Captain Norman? Or the Assistant Chief Kane? Neither one? I don't see either one of them. Okay, Madam Mayor.
The captain and our assistant chief will give them the opportunity. But right now, we're going to do our presentations, items number 7 through 11. And the first proclamation that I'm going to be calling it is, wait a minute. They're not? Okay. Are they all here? No. Are the three for the Friendship Day, are they here? Well, while we're sitting here, it's our councilman's birthday, so while we're waiting to gather everyone, well, let's sing happy birthday to Dr. Bishop Hilton. This is his 21st plus 24 plus 20.
It's a 2020.
So 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. So do we have everyone here for the Friendship American Day?
Kane is here.
Okay.
Assistant Kane.
Okay, I have a couple of people that need to leave. So what I'm gonna do before we go into that, and I know he's a busy person, and I would like to have the presentation by the Los Angeles County Sanitation District. I appreciate you taking the time because you have been on the battle line. I just want to commend you and thank you for coming out this evening. So as they start gathering, I want you to know how much I appreciate you and the fact that you took time from your busy schedule.
Well, you are the chair for one of our district's boards, so you're my boss. So that's great to hear, and we appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I think you're going to get the presentation ready. Okay, I'm Robert Ferrante. I'm the general manager for the Los Angeles County Sanitation Districts. I've presented before especially about our Pure Water Southern California project, our partnership with the Metropolitan Water District, and John Bednarski, the Assistant General Manager for Metropolitan, will also be presenting. So here you got it all set up. So we've reached another milestone on the project. Our environmental impact report is out. And so we thought it'd be a great time to give you and the community an update about the project, remind everybody what the project is, but also give them an update about what we'll be doing and the community benefits for the project. And just as a reminder, sanitation districts, we operate the A.K. Warren facility, water resource facility. It's in the southwest corner of Carson, bordering the city of LA. We've been there for close to 100 years, and a few more will be celebrating that. This plant treats the wastewater and turns it into clean water for over 3 million people. We have operation staff, maintenance staff, electrical and instrumentation, a lot of laboratory staff all there. And this plant now, we all know how precious water is, and that's why we've partnered with Metropolitan to turn that water into reusable water, potable water. And We know this site is big, it's busy. We've always strived to be a good neighbor. Madam Mayor, council members, call me if there's ever an issue. We'll jump right on it. And you'll hear about the project that's coming at this site. And even with that project and the expansion, we can accommodate it all there, and we'll continue to be a good neighbor and strive to support and be an asset for the community. With that, I'll come back up, but I'll hand it off to John now to go through the project.
Thanks, Robert, and good evening, Madam Mayor and members of the council. My staff reminded me that the last time we were here talking to you, maybe Robert snuck in since then, but it was about early 2022. So it's been 3 years. We've been working hard and diligently on this project. We've been interfacing with your staff and getting a lot of good feedback from them as we've been developing our plans. We've been working up and down our project length with all the other cities along the alignment. And we think that we've got a project that makes sense, and wanted to share that with you. As Robert mentioned, we have the environmental impact report that's out on the street, and I'll talk to you about that in just a minute. Let me see if I can go right here to the program. So just as a little bit of background, my company, the Metropolitan Water District, we're a water importer to Southern California. We started in 1928. We were chartered at that time to develop the Colorado River Aqueduct, 250 miles, bring water into Southern California. In the 1970s, we contracted with the state of California to purchase water from the State Water Project. So 2 major imported water sources to Southern California that we manage and deliver to our member agencies. In this area here, the member agency is probably the West Basin Water District. We have been working now for about the last 10 years with Robert's team to develop not a new imported water supply, but what we feel is a sustainable local water supply. And that's what we feel the Pure Water program is. It's local, it's resilient, and it's sustainable. So it starts with collecting the used wastewater, and that's what Robert's team does. They do a great job of it. They clean it at the AK Warren facility. And from there, what we're going to be doing is adding some additional treatment. Robert and his team are going to further pre-treat that water, get it ready for Metropolitan's advanced purification process. From there, we are looking for customers from our member agencies. We have 26 member agencies, and those are the people that we can actually sell water to. So we'll, like entities like West Basin, like the city of Long Beach, like Central Basin, we're looking for them to purchase this water, and we have good indications that they're very eager to purchase this water once it's produced. So we'll be developing, along with the treatment plant, pipelines and pump stations to move that water to its ultimate destination. And by doing that, like I said, creating a resilient water supply that will be available in times of drought, will be available when we have a major earthquake on the San Andreas Fault that severs the imported water aqueducts. This supply will be available for use. So that's why we think it's important. On full build out, it's going to be a very large project, 150 million gallons per day. That means enough water for 1.5 million people within our service area. Metropolitan currently has 19 million people in our service area. So almost 10% of the people in our service area will benefit from this program. It will be one of the largest in the world. There is another project that's very similar that's not too far away in Orange County. They've been doing a similar process for about a decade. It's been very successful. Right now, the city of Los Angeles, both the Department of Water and Power and the Bureau of Sanitation are looking at a very similar effort. But we're proud of our effort because we feel we're several years ahead of what they're doing. They haven't started their environmental process. We're hopefully at near the completion. So let's talk about some of the program benefits. I've mentioned the water supply benefits about increasing water resiliency for the region, replenishing the groundwater basins. That's going to be a major use of this water, but also then going to the next step, getting this into our potable water supply. And by that, what I mean is getting this water into some of Metropolitan's water treatment plants so it can be blended with those imported water supplies, retreated, and then distributed out to about 2/3 of Metropolitan's service system through 2 of our large water treatment plants. But let's talk about the bottom line here. And I want to spend a couple minutes on that because I think it's of great interest to the people in Carson, since you are going to be seeing a lot of the construction here in Carson itself. Let's talk about some of the economic benefits. It's going to fuel economic growth and generate jobs. And so what do I mean by that? The program at full build out is about an $8 billion program based on our current cost estimates. But that $8 billion spent here in Carson And along the pipeline alignment is going to generate an economic output of over $15 billion. That will result in labor incomes of about $6 billion. So the people working on the project are going to earn incomes totaling about $6 billion. State and local taxes, of which you'll receive a portion of, are close to $720 million. This is only during the construction phase of the project. And the jobs generated by this program, both the direct jobs in construction, procuring equipment, and also those jobs that support the construction workers, over 75,000 jobs are estimated to be developed by this program. And that's just during construction. When we get into operation, we're looking at economic output of about $640 million. Labor income per year, $240 million a year going out to salaries to employees that are working to support this program. That equates to almost 2,500 jobs, both at Robert's organization and at Metropolitan and other agencies that will be purchasing this water from us. So huge economic benefits to the region. Let's talk for a minute about the program facilities. Robert mentioned the A.K. Warren facility is going to be the home base for the advanced water treatment facility. But I think also it's important to mention we'll have a workforce development center at that site. And I'm going to talk in a few minutes more about that. But both the sanitation districts and Metropolitan are committing to developing the workforce of the future through this program. And we're committing through the environmental documents and our planning and our communications to both of our boards of directors our commitment to developing local labor to support the ongoing operations of these facilities, the construction efforts of these facilities. There'll be conveyance pipelines that will be routed out of the plant, and we'll talk a little bit more in detail about specifically where that alignment goes in Carson. But we'll be going from the west to the east to try to get onto our alignment along the San Gabriel River corridor. And going up that corridor that we'll be utilizing the Southern California Edison rights-of-way. We've got an agreement now with them so we can stay out of the city streets as much as possible, going up that corridor all the way up to the Irwindale, Azusa area. Recharge facilities, we've got to get the water into the ground eventually. So we're working with our member agencies on where this water can be put into the ground. Next slide, we'll go to the plant itself. Mentioned the A.K. Warren facility. The area that's hashed with that blue dashed line is about 52 acres that the sanitation districts has available. They purchased that a couple decades ago. They've gone through a remediation process. They've received U.S. EPA funds to clean up that site. It's now ready to build the water treatment plant of the future there. A couple things I want to point out in addition to the advanced water purification facility is the workforce training center. This is where we'll be using that facility to train water treatment and wastewater treatment operators so that they can either work for the sanitation districts or they can work for the Metropolitan Water District on our advanced purification facilities. I think huge benefit to the region. Here's the pipeline alignment moving through Carson. So you can see the A.K. Warren facility in the bottom left there. Pipeline will come out of the plant. There'll be a pump station at the exit to the plant. It'll put that water into the pipe, go north on Main Street, and then make a right turn, go down Sepulveda Boulevard, and then diagonaling up Alameda to Del Amo Boulevard. And you ask, how did we arrive at that alignment? And this is one of the key things that we've worked on for the last 3 years with your staff and the staffs from other of the cities, is trying to find the right alignment, because we understand that construction is going to be disruptive. We understand that there's going to be construction in the streets. There may be tunneling underneath the streets. We want your support as we support the businesses in the community to minimize those impacts during construction. Metropolitan has experience doing this type of business support. We've had many projects in the past where we have temporarily disrupted businesses. So we're going to do a lot of outreach. I think some of that has already started now, but we want to work with you and your city staff to identify those businesses so we can talk to them early so that they know what they need to do to be able to communicate with us if there are any business impacts from our construction. We're going to do our darndest to keep those impacts as low as possible, but there may be some cases where there are disruptions to their revenue streams. And so we want to work with you to see what we can do about making those folks whole as we move forward. The other thing I want to mention about the pipeline alignment through Carson, because I know we've talked to your council before about it, is the upcoming 2028 Olympics. At one point, we thought our schedule was going to be aggressive enough that we'd start construction before August of 2028. that's not going to be happening now. We'll be completing our design activities. So we fully expect that construction in Carson will probably start after the Olympic 2-week period is in this region. So I think we feel much better about that and not having to disrupt our construction or not disrupt the Olympics, of course, is something we wouldn't do. But anyway, so just wanted to touch on that. Affordability is important to us also. When you have a program this large, you want to look to get other sources of funds. So we have several sources of funds identified right now, but what I want to point out is that we've already brought in over $200 million to the program from either the state of California, the United States Bureau of Reclamation, other partner contributions like Robert's team, the state of Nevada, the state of Arizona, have all contributed money to this early planning effort. It's all totaled over $200 million. As we move closer to implementation, we'll be out more aggressively looking for outside sources of funds. And the reason we do that is we want to keep the potential rate impacts to the metropolitan ratepayers as low as possible. So that's very high on our mind. There was a climate bond that was just approved last year by the electorate in the state of California. We're looking to tap some of that funding to support our program. And then we're also looking for additional partnerships as we move forward. The program schedule here, like we mentioned, we're in the environmental planning stage right now. We expect to wrap that up in the first quarter of next year, and I'll go into a little bit more detail on why that's early 2026. Our team here has already started some of the design activities. We're working very closely with Robert's staff, developing conceptual plans for the treatment plant, developing preliminary designs for those first 2 reaches of pipeline coming out of the plant through the city of Carson. We're well on our way to designing that pipeline right now, but we don't expect construction will start for several more years after Metropolitan approves the environmental impact report. And then startup of the facilities, it'll probably be a phased startup going over a number of years from the early 2030s out to about 2040 as we bring more modules onto the facilities and complete the pipelines, especially the most northern reaches of that. So let's talk about where we are right now with the environmental impact report. The first step of that actually took place about 3 years ago, which was developing a scoping document. So we're required under the California Environmental Quality Act to notify people that we're starting the environmental planning process. And we did that back in 2022. And so we got input from the public as to what things should we focus on as we're developing this EIR. We took that information, we worked really, really hard for 2.5 years to develop this draft document. It's been out on the street since sometime in May. We've had 3 public meetings on that. We had to do them all virtual. Unfortunately, it was our plan to have one in person down at Carson, but because of the activities that were going on in LA a few weeks ago, we decided to do all the meetings virtually. We've received feedback. We will continue to receive feedback and would like feedback from the city of Carson before the deadline of July 14th. Once that feedback comes in, Metropolitan staff and Sanitation District staff will process all that information, and we will then return to our board. We're looking at January, February of next year to get them to certify the environmental document. Once they certify that document, then we'll have a subsequent action from our board to approve the program, and then we can start moving into the full implementation phase of the program. Let me give you a highlight of some of the areas that we touched on in the environmental document. There were 12 areas in particular that we addressed, and they're listed on this slide, but I want to point out the ones that are highlighted there, like air quality, cultural resources, noise, and tribal resources. These areas were called out because even doing all the work that we could do now with our planning and mitigation activities, we determined that these 4 areas would still have potentially significant impacts once we tried to mitigate them. So for example, cultural resources and tribal cultural resources, why do they have significant impacts? Well, they have potentially significant impacts because we don't know exactly where all the facilities are going to go. We know where they're going to go down at Roberts Plant. We know they're going to go down Sepulveda Boulevard in Carson, but we don't know what we're going to find once we start excavating in the streets. We don't know what we're going to find when we finally site a pump station and start doing the cultural resource investigations. So we're expecting that we may find something, but just in an abundance of caution, we identified those 2 areas as potentially significant impacts. But if something is identified, we will definitely go out there and try to mitigate those impacts. Air quality, carbon monoxide will be emitted by our construction vehicles. It's in the background in the air that we breathe every day, but we know that because of the concentrated construction activities, there may be spikes in the carbon monoxide levels coming out of the construction equipment. So again, just we're letting folks know that this would be a significant impact. Noise, we've taken a very conservative approach here. Because we're going through about 14 different cities, each one has its own noise requirements. We've decided to take the most restrictive noise requirements, the ones that require the lowest level noise, and apply that to the entire program. And in doing so, we're hoping that we will minimize any noise components that come off of this project. And for example, construction activities are going to be limited from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So we're not going to get into those working through the midnight hours, disturbing people while they're sleeping or anything like that. So let's talk about some of the community benefits. And I'm going to go ahead and hit my three, and then Robert, you can go ahead and finish out there. So Robert and I are going to do a tag team on this. So I'm going to start with the bottom line items. Restoration. We have a lot of restoration work planned around the AK Warren facilities. There will be new landscaping on the streets there that are surrounding that facilities. A bunch of other beautification efforts will take place in the vicinity immediately surrounding the AK Warren facility. We have public outreach facilities. I talked to you about the workforce development, but we've also been working with the local communities to develop memorandum of understanding. We have one with the city of Carson. It's a joint effort between Carson, Metropolitan, the sanitation districts, West Basin, and a couple other groups. And it's put in place to really help us develop the workforce of the future by developing educational programs for the K through 12 students in Carson and the surrounding communities. We have a project labor agreement. All the work under this program will be done with a project labor agreement. That's going to help us employ local labor. So we don't want labor coming in from out of state. We want labor to be used on this project from right in the vicinity of where the construction activities are taking place. We have the Workforce Development Center. I already talked about that. I won't belabor that. We have a lot of outreach capabilities over at the Warren facility. We have the Innovation Center. I know a lot of you have already toured that. If you haven't, you can talk to Elisa here. She will get you on our tour list. It's really convincing to see the technology that's going to be used. And so what I'm going to do now is turn it to Robert for a couple of the other items.
I'll be quick. I know your time is valuable. I think on the tax revenue benefits, John mentioned there's about $700 million we expect in sales tax revenue, and a portion of that goes to the city. The air quality is a big one. There'll be public benefits there. We're looking at adding additional electric vehicle chargers that will not only be able to feed clean electricity to our vehicles, but be open to the public as well, right there on Sepulveda and Figueroa. We're also, with respect to the air quality, you know that we have some old wells that are still around the property. We're going to be looking at shutting those down and removing those old oil wells, not only from our plant property, we have some on the Wilmington JC's property as well. With respect to water conservation, well, now that we've got this new water supply, we're going to build a network throughout our plant, and we can extend it both to Carriage Crest and to the Wilmington property as well, and supply water to those parks as well. So we'll work with the water providers there to build a purple pipe system to do that. And just to expand on the workforce development, I know that John did a great job talking about what's coming, but some of that's coming real soon. Erica on our staff, I think Madam Mayor's met her. She's a go-getter. She's already been working with Carson High School. She's looking hopefully to start a program for 11th graders and 12th graders to learn about opportunities in wastewater, in water treatment starting this fall. We've already done a lot trying to expand tours for schools where they come in, they not only see the treatment plant, but then we have an engineer, one of the maintenance people, one of the lab techs, even one of the clerical speak to them about what they do. We would like to have a pipeline of local people working at the local facility. So we are working on that. Hopefully, she hopes to get that off the ground soon, but hopefully it'll be this academic school year. With that, I'll hand it back to John.
Thanks, Robert. We're coming in the home stretch. So Again, would encourage the city of Carson to provide comments to our EIR. There's a number of different ways that you can do it. It's on this slide. I'm not going to belabor the point. You can email comments. You can go right online to our website, or good old snail mail will also work too. So let's see. So we're here to support you. Hopefully you will take advantage of that as we get the word out about how important this project is. Like I said, Elisa leads the effort down here in Carson for Metropolitan, and Genesis leads that effort for the LA County Sanitation Districts. And we're just really proud and happy to have both of those folks engaged. So anything that you feel that we can provide to educate your citizens or provide tours or whatever, just reach out and let us know. So I'm going to wrap this up and then turn it right back over to Robert, and this will be the last get up and get down, right?
That's right. Now the fun stuff. Madam Mayor is one of our board members on the Sanitation District's educational nonprofit. And that nonprofit's intent is to get out and educate the public, not only about environmental issues, but also about job opportunities as well. And we will be having November 15th, the first of an annual event at the A.K. Warren facility. We're working with the city of Carson, and you see a couple of the other local groups. It'll be from 10 to 2, it'll be a festival where people will be able to tour not only the wastewater treatment plant, but also the recycling facility, the little demonstration plant. They'll learn about environmental issues, learn about job opportunities. There'll be a lot of activities for kids. So it's a great family event. We do something similar and have done it up in Whittier, but it makes a lot of sense to do it here in Carson. And I look forward to hopefully seeing you all at that event. We'll give you more information as we get closer to it, but it'll be right here at our A.K. Warren facility. There'll also be food vendors too. It is from 10 to 2, so for lunch and everything. And finally, that's it, and we're available to answer any questions that you may have, both John and myself, and also staff.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity to present.
Thank you for coming. I did want to say thank you. I know we worked on this MOU for a while. I'm glad to see that it came to fruition. I think it was last year, JR? It was last year. And, you know, I always, and I tell JR this all the time, I operate on a short pencil is better than a long memory. And I had Robert to commit to staying on board until this project was complete. So I just want to thank you so much. My other question, because I heard we talked about the a workforce for future, and I know one of the things I had discussed with you was, you know, once the young people are trained, they're out of high school, because a lot of our kids don't know, like you said, the salaries and the jobs that are available. But I wanted to make sure that our young people that went through the training program, that they were able to work at one of the existing facilities, because all too often what happens is, you know, when these jobs open up in our cities, well, you don't have the experience. And that's something that you and I talked about at length.
Yeah, part of the idea for that is to actually set aside apprenticeship programs. So, you know, when they go through the program after being 18, graduating from high school, they can do the apprenticeship program so they get that experience right there. Mm-hmm. And then they can either hopefully get a full-time job with us, or now they have that 2 years of experience that they can put on their resume, and it'll be good experience working with staff. The staff there is very excited. A lot of the, you know, old timers or you know, people that have been there a while are really looking forward to getting apprentices and working with them. We have started too a emancipated foster youth program too. It's just a couple of spots to get to start that up for those people. You know, their transition's even more difficult than others, so we hope to have a couple of those spots, and I'll be able to report to you how that goes in the next couple of months.
Thank you. And to the young people that are listening, if I was looking for a job, I sit on the personnel subcommittee also for the sanitation. Those salaries are like you wouldn't believe. If I wasn't on this city council, I'd go and say I put in an application.
They're good union jobs.
They're excellent union jobs. Yes. And it's just a nice atmosphere. The staff is wonderful, but I think it's important for our young people to know this plant is going to be in the city of Carson. We're going to be on the map, and the events that are leading up to the opening, it's great, and I'm glad. And to the staff, Mr. City Manager, if all of our directors have not toured the facility or know where it is, I would encourage us to take a bus down and spend the day. We want you at the festival also, but I think it would be good. I've toured it, I think, twice.
Yes.
But I think we need to go and see what's in our backyard. So when you start talking about this Warren facility, I know my director of Recreation and Community Service, until we start working on this project, he didn't know it was in our city. And so I think it's a good educational tool. So when we start presenting talking about the festival in November, it's going to be something that we want. We've already reserved 100 slots, I think. Is it 200? Through the city manager, I think. Michael Whitaker, we have 100 slots. We talked about it at the last meeting.
Yes, 100 spaces for residents.
Yeah, so please sign up. And I just want to say thank you, Director, for taking the time, because he's been working on these Pacific Palisades fires, and it's been, oh my God. So for you to be here tonight, I just want to say thank you. MPT Hicks.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you for that presentation. Outstanding. I have some concerns in regards to the route that you showed me from Sepulveda down Alameda to Del Amo. That runs right past Marathon. It goes right past the 405 freeway. It goes past the Lincoln and President's track, and it's smack dab in the middle of that community, which was going to actually impact the Alameda corridor. So now we have our ports being impacted behind it by now possibly moving that traffic onto the Santa Fe truck route, which is going to impact the community, which an elementary school, middle school, high school, and a park. So my concerns is how we're going to be able to mitigate that and to make it very safe for that travel in that process.
Yeah, great question. And I was, kind of expecting that you would ask that question, because I seem to remember from several years ago you asked the same question. So we've been doing a lot of work on that over the last several years. And what we're proposing in our environmental impact report is that we do a combination of what we call open cut excavation in those areas where we can do that, where there won't be disruptions so significant to the traffic. And then in those specific areas that you called out, the Alameda corridor and some of those other areas, we're fully planning to tunnel in those areas. So especially like we've had a lot of contact with Marathon Oil and working out some collaborations with them where we could, have some construction staging sites on their property to launch our tunnel boring machine. So we're expecting at this point it's going to be a combination effort. Like I said, where it's super congested, we'll be underground and hopefully the residents won't see us. Where we feel that there's an opportunity to do open cut trenching, then we'll work with your city staff to figure out the best places for that.
And then your community outreach, where are you guys doing the community or when will you do the community outreach, and how will that process? Because there is a Dominguez HOA. There's a meeting that's every Monday at 7 o'clock. That's in the area with all the residents that they have all the time. So that's one way of getting the information out. And then there's Dominguez Park that's there, and they have an association that's at that park with other members of the community to at least get your foot in the door to the residents that live in that area.
Yeah, I think Elisa has already been touching base with some of these folks, and at least having some preliminary discussions now. Once the program is approved by our board and we actually go into design, then we'll really start those efforts in earnest, and that'll be a good 2 years before any construction work starts.
And you mentioned that you were going to do the tunneling under at the Alameda Street?
Yeah, that's one of several locations along that alignment that I showed you where we would be tunneling. I don't have the specific locations, but I know for sure Alameda corridor. Yeah. Some of the waterway crossings that we would have to go through there by the 405 freeway, that's also going to be all underground.
Okay, all righty. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Quick question to staff before I recognize our councilman. The ERI that's due on July 14th, have we made comments, reviewed it? City Manager, JR. EIR.
Yeah, EIR. I've got it. I haven't written any comments, but we'll get comments in by
the 14th. Okay, let's share them.
Share them?
Yeah, share them with MPT.
Okay.
Okay. he may have some ideas and suggestions. Councilman Deere.
Thank you, and gentlemen, and your staff. Thank you for being here tonight. It's a good presentation, easy to understand for the public, and I think that's really important because I know you guys are very technical. I've experienced your work already. I have some questions. I had actually some concerns that MPT Hicks had, and you answered those questions, so I don't need to ask those again. But I do want to thank you for a few things that you've already done and what you're planning to do. So first, the expansion of Carr's Crest Park on the north east corner of Sepulveda and Figueroa. That was a project that I first proposed when I was on the board of directors, and Jim Stahl was the general manager. You remember that?
Years ago.
You were a young guy working your way up at that time, Robert. So that finally came to fruition, and that's a really good partnership between the Sand District and the City of Carson. It's going to benefit our youth and our adults tremendously. That park's going from the smallest park in our city to pretty much the largest park in the city. So a world of change there, so thank you. Also, when this project was first brought to us a few years ago as a plan, we already knew about the third outfall project that was going on. So that's going on simultaneously. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, we're about 1.5 miles from the coast. We are using a tunnel boring machine, and that has gone very well. No issues with it being underground.
I see. You know, my friends on the hill have been telling me they've been hearing this rattling noise down below.
Oh, no, they shouldn't be.
They thought it was gold or something.
They're joking you, yeah.
Yeah, I know they're kidding. Yeah. Because it's very deep and it's going through rock.
Yeah, at that location, it's over 400 feet deep. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
So when you do this open trench on Sepulveda, could you give us the details of what the public should expect as far as traffic congestion, access, the huge shopping center there, which is actually on Sand District property, but leased in a long-term lease where Home Depot is and so forth. Could you tell us what it'll look like as far as activities?
So we'll see lane closures. I believe my recollection is that there's a median down
there is
Sepulveda at that point, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm not exactly sure of all of the traffic plans, but it's potentially we could close all of, say, the westbound lanes and move traffic over to those eastbound and try to split them. We'd work with your engineering staff to come up with what the appropriate traffic plan is. We would instruct the contractor that they can only open up so much trench at any one time, because the last thing we want is for them to open up the whole length of trench for 1 mile plus down Sepulveda, and then they really take their time installing the pipe. So we have very strict requirements on how much trench can be opened at one time, and then moving sort of methodically down the street. Expecting that in some of the sensitive receptor areas, we might have sound barriers that go up that the contractor is required to put up, near the homes and things like that. A lot of probably steel plating you'll see. There's some major intersections that we'll be going through, and in those specific areas, we're expecting that we'll use what they call is micro tunneling, where they put a jack and board device. So they put a small shaft at the end of the open trench, and they actually tunnel underneath that major intersection. So we're not going to go through and open up a major trench through one of the major intersections on Sepulveda. That would be all what we call micro tunneled underneath there. So the open stretches will be, really controlled, and that's one of our goals, to mitigate any of the disruptions to traffic.
So it'll be similar to the trunk line that went on Lameda Boulevard, for instance.
Yes, very similar. Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
That seemed to work for the residents. Considering it was a disruption and inconvenience, but it did work, and that's the important thing. Okay, good. And then I want to thank you for having a PLA on this. As soon as I heard about it, I told my union friends, and they probably contacted you right away, I'm sure. Thirdly, I was a teacher at Stephen White Middle School in the past, and the science teachers are able to bring their students to the Sand District. And we want to thank you for cooperating and working together with our school districts, because it's a great science experience for our students.
Yeah, no, we'd love to do more of that, even at the younger age. We have a variety of programs that we've been expanding now to be able to get in there and then have routine programs, whether it be we call it sewer science or other things, grades of green, that we can do at the local schools. Absolutely.
Well, yeah, it's really important. Young people, as you know, often they don't know what they want to be when they grow up, so to speak. But when they get exposed to something like this, that's a very important aspect of our society. I mean, the work that you do is essential to the health and economy of Los Angeles. So that's really important that they get exposed to that. So those are the things I wanted to thank you for, and then also doing the outreach and letting the people of Carson know that this is going to be taking place and how it will be taking place is really important because we don't want people to get caught off guard. So,
Understood.
All right. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Councilwoman.
Oh, very quick. Thank you for that presentation. And just really quick, going back to our kids and our future engineers, how can they apply? If you have a website or a phone number, if we could get that.
Oh, yeah,
record.
no, we
Thank
can
you.
share that with the city. We have, like, what is it, governmentjobs.org and various other things we post on, and our website has the jobs as well. And we are working directly with the workforce, what's it called? Workforce Investment Board to coordinate, especially for the Carson High School program, so kids could become familiar with the facility.
Yeah, Jan Vogel is the contact on that.
Thank you.
We brought him in. It's
Madam Mayor, can I just add one thing to the last thing Robert said? One of the things that the Workforce Investment Board brings is that on these internship and internship programs, especially for younger students, they can be the employer of record, and so they and so it's Metropolitan and the Sanitation District, also West Basin is a partner in our MOU as well. And so it's gives a little flexibility around the ability to have certain internship programs that may be a little different or supplement some of the ones that the districts themselves have.
Yeah, I think what you're referring to is traditionally people always think of a apprenticeship program as like a mechanic or, a electrician, but we were talking about even for clerical work or, data analysis type work that there could be interns. So expanding that into those other job opportunities.
Thank you. Dr. Hilton.
I was just going to say thank you for your thorough presentation. Thank you again for having a PLA agreement. And thank you again for giving the mayor more bragging rights about bringing, I can just hear her adding this to her list of things that she set out to do. So congratulations and kudos to you, Mayor.
Thank you.
For sitting on this sanitation board and that they're creating jobs in our community and it's going to bring some money to our community, union paying jobs.
Yes.
She talked about how good the jobs are, and if she wasn't sitting on the city council, I sit on the city council, and I still want to know how good the jobs are.
You'll be amazed. You'll be amazed. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
And
Thank you for your support.
No problem.
Your work.
I've learned more since I've been on this board in the last 4 years. I'm so
Than you ever wanted to.
Well, yes, and if I'm not there, Dr. Hilton is my alternate. You know that, so this is educational for him also.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, outstanding. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Excellent. Thank you, staff, for coming out. And now we will go to our presentations. Channel 7 is in the house.
Channel 7 is here. If you could stand up, please. Channel 7. Thank
Channel
you so
7
much.
is in the house.
Outstanding. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
And before
They're
they're here. Before I go down and do the presentation, Channel 7, I just want to say thank you. You have covered some of our events, and I tell you, it's been the best coverage. Every event that you have covered has been just fantastic. So send that back to Channel 7, everybody involved. I mean, the fireworks, the state of the city. It's just been awesome. Best coverage. That's because you live in Carson. This is your second home, I think. I'm going to call this your second home. So we're going to come down and give you some presentations. And thank you for coming. So awesome. Today, we have the honor of recognizing Filipino-American Friendship Day. This is the day celebration of every July 4th commemorates the lasting friendship between the Philippines and the United States. It began as the Philippines gained its independence from the U.S. in 1946 and has grown into a celebration of deep ties between our nations. Here in Carson, we are blessed with a vibrant Filipino-American community whose culture, values, and contributions have shaped our city for the better. We're proud to present this proclamation in recognition of their history, their achievements, and the enduring bond that we share. We have a large Filipino population here in the city of Carson, and they play an instrumental part in the government in this city and all of our events that we host here in the city of Carson. Very united, very loyal, and we just appreciate our Filipino population. So I'm going to turn this over to our councilwoman for her to read the proclamation.
Yes, thank you. And mabuhay, everybody. Okay, the Philippine-American Friendship Day. The Republic of the Philippines formally declared independence from the United States on July 4th, 1946. After almost 50 years of American colonial rule. Whereas on Philippine-American Friendship Day, the enduring bonds and special relations between the Republic of the Philippines and the United States is acknowledged. Whereas Philippine President Diosdado Macabacal shifted the celebration of Philippine Independence Day from July 4th to June 12th. By virtue of Proclamation number 28, moving the holiday to June 12th in commemoration of General Emilio Aguinaldo's proclamation of Philippine Independence Day from Spain in 1898. Whereas Republic Act number 4166 changed the date of Philippine Independence Day from July 4th to June 12th, the aforesaid law designated July 4th as Philippine Republic Day, a legal holiday to commemorate the foundation of the modern Republic of the Philippines. Whereas President Fidel V. Ramos issued Administrative Order number 204 on July 10th, 1995, constituting a National Executive Committee for the commemoration of the 50th anniversary of the Philippine-American Friendship Day, which would be on July 4th, 1996. On July 7th, 2015, the Carson City Council passed, approved, and adopted Resolution number 15-081, recognizing Philippine-American Friendship Day on July 4th, that which must be appropriately observed to promote and preserve the spirit of freedom, independence, nationalism, and love of country, and appreciate the contribution and sacrifice of war veterans in the pursuit of sovereignty. Whereas the Philippine-American Friendship Day affirms the continuing strength of Filipino-American friendship and the enduring bonds and the concept of special relations between the Philippine and the American republics. Whereas it is essential to promote the understanding, education, and appreciation of the shared history of the Philippines and the United States. Now, therefore, to be resolved that the mayor and the city council of the city of Carson do hereby recognize the celebration of Philippine-American Friendship Day, honor the shared heritage and the history of Filipinos and Americans, and their immense contributions to the respective lives of their nation. We urge the residents of the city of Carson and surrounding cities to observe Philippine-American Friendship Day, which approve programs and activities. So this is dated the first day of July 2025, and we are honored to celebrate our friendship with ABC7. And so Madam Mayor is going to introduce our special friendship, our special relationship with our Filipino-American ABC7 Eyewitness News anchors and television assignment reporters.
Wow,
yes.
that's a lot. And we're going to bring them up one at a time.
Oh, yes.
And then we'll do a group shot. So the first person is Denise Dedor.
All right. Yeah.
D nice.
Let's scoot back. Okay. Denise is the Eyewitness News health specialist whose Circle of Health reports can be seen on ABC 7 Eyewitness News at 3 p.m., 4 p.m., and 5. Since joining ABC 7 in 1998, Denise's mission has been to help Southern Californians improve their lives with timely medical information and advice. Denise has received numerous journalism and community services awards, including national recognition for her work with Asians for the Miracle Marrow matches. She received an Emmy Award for news features reporting and outstanding children's programming. Denise also represents KABC in her work with various Asian Pacific Islander and Filipino American community organizations. In 2022, Denise also co-hosted our Filipino American History Month kickoff at Dignity Health Center. Yes. I said this is their second home. Outside of work, Denise is a wife and a mother of a teenage son and daughter who both have big dreams. While she would like to say she is an avid runner or skier, streaming historical documents and period dramas have become her latest obsession. Her latest obsession. Denise, thank you. Yeah. Hey, we're not going to just let you come up here with no information.
You know everything about me now.
Have a few words.
Okay. First of all, I want to thank the council for being so professional and leading the community. What a beautiful community. I love the way you practice democracy, and we cannot have enough of that these days. You are a shining example. I thank you for nominating us, Arlene Rojas. Thank you so much, Mayor Davis Holmes, for did I get that right? Yes. Mayor Davis Holmes for approving that, and Councilman Jim Deere, always a welcoming face for the past 25 years that I've been here. I always love seeing you, and I know how much you love our community. So it's such a pleasure to be here with all of you, the entire council, and what you do. So thank you so much for that. I know I had one more thing. I mean, yes, I do think that water place is a wonderful place to work. And enjoyed being here with you. I'm grateful to be at Channel 7 because I don't know if there are 3 Filipino Americans on staff at any other. No, there isn't, right? So what an honor this is. Thank you so much for recognizing us and my colleagues, and thank you.
Thank you. And all 3 of you are here tonight. Come, Denise, stand right here. Picture.
That's
come on
very
this side,
Filipino.
next to the council.
Yes.
Right here. Come over here, Denise.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
We're going to do a group shot. Oh. Next is Tony Cabrillo. Hey, is he the
comedian? Newscaster.
Okay.
You do watch.
Tony is the weekend morning anchor. He's the weekend morning anchor for ABC 7, Eyewitness News, and general assignment reporter. He joined the team in 2019 as an Orange County reporter. He has also worked in Santa Barbara, Tucson, Arizona, Toledo, Ohio, but he first appeared on AB7 as a correspondent for the nationally syndicated entertainment show On the Red Carpet. Tony was born and raised in San Jose, but eventually moved to Los Angeles, where he earned a degree in broadcast journalism from the University of Southern California.
Trojans.
Go Trojan. He and his wife are excited to be in SoCal to raise their, you've been busy, 4 children. He has 4. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councilwoman Rojas and the rest of the council for having us here. It's super cool to represent our station, but 3 of us. I mean, it is pretty rare to have 3 Filipinos on TV at a news station. But that shows that, things are changing and that we're getting, a little bit more representation and everything. That's super cool. It's also cool that Carson, I just found out today, has like the biggest percentage-wise of Filipinos outside of the Philippines. What? So I gotta come back. I knew there were Filipinos here, but I didn't know that it was like top notch like that. So I've got to come back. You guys got to tell me where to get the good food. But yeah, and I know, he knows the food. Dang. They're throwing out all the food. Okay, see, you all know. That's my favorite. But yeah, I mean, that is just proof of the open arms that you guys have towards our community, and we thank you for doing that for our community. And I got to come down for the Philippine Independence Day celebration that those folks have been through. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Oh.
You want to straight out, or what do you want to do? Just make it a flat row.
Flat row? Cool.
I'm going to do a group shot in a moment. Yes. Last but not least, I mean, she's been here, I don't know how many times. Irene Cruz. Come on. She lives here now. Yes. Irene is a weekend morning anchor and general assignment reporter for ABC 7 Eyewitness News. She joined the station in 2022 and has been nominated for 2 Emmys already. Woo! Irene is the proud daughter of a Filipino immigrant and comprehends Tagalog fluently. She has been the opening host for the last 2 Philippine Independence Day celebrations, 2024 and 2025, entertainment sections. When she's not reporting, you can find her immersed in many of her hobbies: 3D printing, piano, singing, writing, science fiction, and attending Comic Cons. Wow. She also adores her 2 Maltepoos, Cricket and Wrigley, who have traveled with her across the country as she pursues her dream to become a journalist. Welcome, and this is your second home.
Wow, what an honor. I want to say thank you to you, Mayor Lua Davis Holmes. I really appreciate it. This is a wonderful honor. A big thank you to you, Councilwoman Arlene Rojas, and the entire City Council. Carson has been so welcoming, and like you mentioned, Mayor, I've had the honor of being able to be part of the Philippine Independence Day for 2 years now, and it really goes to show that there really is a special, wonderful place here, not only for Filipinos in the city of Carson, but for Filipinos all across Southern California who come to celebrate our culture here. So thank you so much for giving us that and allowing us to really thrive and grow our culture and our love and passion for being Filipino American. Carson is such a special place. So this is a wonderful honor, and thank you so much for this.
Thank you. And if you watch any of her, when she covers us, you can feel it comes from love. I mean, it's not just soup. It's a good presentation, very informative, and it captures all the right moments at the right time. So I have a few of those clips myself.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
Right?
Thank you.
Isn't that Peter Pan's line?
I think Peter Pan.
Madam Mayor? And just so that way, Channel 7, before they leave, it's been through the consistency of our executive team. They're actually requesting that Tony comes back next year and be the guest MC of the Philippine Independence Day. So I don't want to put him on the spot, but
Hey, watch out, a double team.
You don't want it to be that fun. I'm extra. I'm extra. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
We'll see you.
Next, we'll have a presentation by Councilman Dr. Hilton. What is it? American Independence Day. Dr. Hilton. Okay, is it?
Madam Mayor, thank you for this honor as we get ready to celebrate Independence Day. I'd like to call up two of our staff, our executive staff team members who've served in the armed forces, our city manager, Dave Roberts, and our public works director, Arlington Rogers. Anybody else over here served in the armed forces? No, Mike has been working in the park since he was 14. He dodged it. No, he didn't get a chance. In honor of American Independence Day and to our vet there, whereas on July 4th, 1776, the Second Continental Congress declared the 13th American colonies to be free and independent states and publicly adopted the Declaration of Independence that proclaimed the universal truths of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And whereas the Declaration bold affirmation that governing power derives from the consent of the governed has inspired countless generations, strengthened our nation through trials, and shaped a republic grounded in constitutional law. And whereas from the very first celebration in 1777 through the centuries that followed, Americans have observed the 4th of July with parades, public readings of the Declaration, bell-ringing, patriotic music, no more fireworks, and communal gatherings. It says that. It says fireworks, but I said no more in Carson. Gathering traditions that reflect our unity and our love, our freedom. And whereas on this day we honor the courage of the founders, we reflect on the sacrifice made to secure and persevere preserve our independence, and we renew our commitment to strengthen our democracy and uphold our rights and responsibilities of citizens, of citizenship. Y'all hear that? We renew our commitment to strengthen our democracy and uphold the rights and responsibilities of citizenship. Now, therefore, the mayor and the city council of Carson California recognized American Independence Day on July 4th, 1776, a day that represents the Declaration of Independence and the birth of the United States of America as an independent nation. Encourage all citizens to observe and celebrate with pride. Give all due ceremony to recognition of American independence as a time to honor America, appreciate its legacy, heritage, and tradition, and live with the patriotism. We urge all citizens to observe this day through thoughtful reflection, no firework popping, meaningful celebration, and recommitment to the ideas that define our nation. I'm just trying to tell you, because they said celebrate with pride. Our pride is going to be a little different this year, okay, guys? With family. We want to give our city manager an opportunity, or our public works director an opportunity to talk about the importance of their nation.
Oh, wow. Thank you for recognizing this great country, July 4th. As a veteran, we appreciate the recognition and the hard work that it goes into for some of us who gave the ultimate sacrifice, and for those of us who did not give the ultimate sacrifice, those countless sleepless nights, the wonderful food, and all the camaraderie that it takes to defend this great nation. Thank you.
Thank you. Doctor.
Thank you, Dr. Rogers. I just want to say thank you to Dr. Hilton and the council for recognizing us, but really this would not be a day that we could celebrate if we did not recognize those who also served. So to you, sir, I salute. For the 18th Engineer Brigade, thank you so much for your service. We appreciate that. And anyone else who's served, so the service members out there, we appreciate the opportunity to be able to serve and be a part of this great nation and this wonderful city here in the city of Carson. So thank you both.
And why don't you just present it to him?
Yes. I didn't want to go towards the service dog, you know. I want the service dog to be agitated. Thank you so much, sir, for your incredible service and your sacrifice.
Would you like to come get in the photo? Can you go?
Stand by Jim.
Yeah, we're the ones with the dogs.
Yeah.
Coming over here.
Look at you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Cedric.
Next, we will have a proclamation recognizing the month of July as Parks and Recreation Month. Build Together, Play Together, presented by our MPT, Hicks.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. There's several recipients I wanted to come up for this. One is being our Park and Recreation Commissioners that are here to come on up. Our Park and Recreation Commissioners that are here.
Woo.
Along with our Director, Michael Whitaker, Jr. Junior. People don't always put the junior on there, but it's Junior.
Where's your Alex? I just saw Alex. Oh, come right here, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair. Right here in the middle. You're dressed all nice.
Yes. And whereas parks and recreations are an integral part of communities throughout this country, including Carson, California, and whereas the theme, Build Together, Play Together, emphasizes the collective efforts in creating and maintaining parks and recreation spaces, as well as the importance of play and enjoyment in those spaces. And whereas in 2025, the theme highlights the vital role of parks and recreation professionals in building thriving communities. It encourages communities to focus on the collective efforts of professionals, volunteers, and community members in developing and maintaining parks and recreational resources. The theme also highlights the importance of recreation, enjoyment, and community building within the parks and recreation spaces. Whereas parks and recreation programs promote health and wellness, improving the physical and mental health of people who live near parks. And whereas Parks and Recreation create community through people, parks, and programs in the city of Carson and throughout the country. Whereas Parks and Recreation promote fine time for being in nature and to work positively to impact mental health by increasing cognitive performances and well-being, and alleviating illnesses such as depression, attention deficit disorders, and Alzheimer's. Whereas Parks and Recreation encourages physical activities by promoting space for popular sports, hiking trails, swimming pools, and many other activities designed to promote active lifestyles. And whereas Parks and Recreation are a leading provider of healthy meals, nutritional services, and education. And whereas Parks and Recreation increases a community economic prosperity through increased property value, expansion of local tax base, increased tourism, the attraction and retention of businesses, and crime reduction. And whereas our parks and nature recreational areas ensure the ecological beauty of our community and provide a place for children and adults to connect with nature and recreate outdoors. Whereas July is celebrated across the nation as Parks and Recreation Month, and thousands of children, adults, and seniors benefit from wide-range activities, facilities, and park provided by the City of Carson. Now, therefore, the Mayor and the City Council of the City of California do hereby proclaim July 25th as Parks and Recreation Month and urge all residents to enjoy our parks, our open space, our facilities, our recreational opportunities, taking into consideration the beneficial efforts of being a well-rounded citizen. Dated today, the first day of July 2025, and is signed by the entire City Council.
Thank you.
And we have our chair.
And our chair of the Parks and Recreation Commissioner, Kanglet, is here with just about the entire group.
With the crew.
Oh, you guys are, and the director's here. All right. What are you doing to stand over there? I can't see you over there. Come up a little
Come
bit.
over here, Mr. Director.
Yeah, come on over here, Mr. Director.
I work with 3 directors.
You work with all 3 of us.
Yeah, all 3 with you guys.
I'm 6'3". If I stand over there, it's a good shot.
No, it won't. Yeah.
Where you want to go, Michael? I don't know. Where would you like me to go? Okay.
Thank you, sir.
He Kanglet wants him next to him. Oh, I'm supposed to take the picture. Okay, here we go. Find your window.
Thank you.
You work all 3 of us.
Yes, I know. With
all 3 of us.
Yeah, I'll come back to the presentation.
But you have to say something now.
Oh, well, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, City Councilman Jim Deere, and Councilwoman Rojas. Thank you very much on behalf, and Dr. Hilton, where are you? Yeah. I could never forget Dr. Hilton. We go back. All right. So, anyway, on behalf of the Parks and Recreation Commission, I'd like to thank the City Council and the Mayor for their leadership in honoring July, the entire month of July, as Parks and Recreation Month. We have accomplished so much with this year under the leadership of our director, Mike Whitaker, and we'll come back later and talk to you about the highlights of the accomplishment of the Parks and Recreation Commission. I want to invite Vice Chair here. Lawrence, if you want to say something too. Of course. Vice Chair.
Thank you. So thanks again. It kind of said all the thank yous, but thank you again. I echo his sentiments. And on behalf of the rest of the commission, we are really, really grateful for the opportunity for Carson Rec and Parks to be recognized as a valuable, and in some cases an invaluable part of the city and the well-being of the communities in which we all happily serve and to whatever extent advise when it comes down to policy. I'm looking forward to being able to talk about a lot of the accomplishments that this department has done when it comes down to improving the quality of life for residents, inclusive of age, of gender, of ability here in the city. And I'll just, from making sure that our parks are safe, to making sure that our scoreboards are working, to making sure that the gyms are clean, to making sure that there are adequate programs for our seniors and people with disabilities in the city. It runs the gamut. And so if you're watching and you have not visited your local park, please do so, because Director Whitaker is doing a phenomenal job making sure that the staff is soon making sure that the Park and Rec staff from the executive level all the way across the board is working hard, that they're recognized, and that they're doing a phenomenal job to make sure that the parks are clean and safe for you to do your work in place. So thank you so much, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Photo op, photo op. Oh, we did. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. What's next? Presentation?
That's it.
What's next on the agenda? No, I have a presentation. No, I have Parks and Rec. And then I have the captain, I have the assistant.
Is there another one?
No, they're gonna do a presentation. Okay, good. We will have an update from our Parks and Recreational Cultural Arts Commission. Commissioner, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Madam Mayor. I apologize, Madam Mayor, Dr. Hilton, Mayor Pro Tem, Councilman Jim Deere, and Councilwoman Arlene Rojas, and the staff. Thank you very much. My name is Alex Kainglet. I serve on the Parks and Recreation Commission. I'm here tonight to share a brief update on the work the department have accomplished over the past year, and to recognize the ongoing efforts to enhance the quality of life in our community through parks and recreation services. A couple of highlights that the department had accomplished this year: recent improvements to the park. If you notice, Dr. Rogers is part of that as well, and the Director Mike Whitaker. The department expansion, the addition of a new division merge, has led to significant renovation and enhance across the facilities. Purchase of new mobile first aid kits. Upgraded scoreboards. The citizens will definitely will benefits to this update of the scoreboards. Basketball courts as well. And the addition of public artwork in various parks. Improved communication through electronic marquees and the use of ActiveNet platform. That's, I think, will enhance a great deal in how we deliver service to our community. Implementation of EV charging station to support sustainability efforts. These are the projects that have been undertaken by the Department of the Parks and Recreation. Ongoing development of pickleball courts. That's getting popular. I'm getting a lot of inquiry about having it in Foysia Park, and the director is adding that to the checklist that hopefully will get that done. And even in other parks, we should have that. Carriage Crest will be having that as well. Am I correct, Mr. Director? So we're moving forward. Installation of cameras and Wi-Fi across all parks. Badge readers to replace your 10 pounds keys that you carry around every day. To replace an excess of physical keys in multiple buildings. A new process that has saved money. I think it's also probably a great idea because you're probably saving security for security purposes as well. So those badge reader cannot be duplicated. Keys can be, but it will, again, we're moving forward. The department is really progressive in terms of what's what's new out there in the park system. The staff has been, the staff work hard under the director leadership. You put up a lot of events. Good example, the Samoan Heritage Month, Philippine Independence Day, the Juneteenth, to name a few. These things will never happen without the leadership of our mayor and the members of the city council. We have a great park system because of our leadership, and also the staff that delivered this to our constituent, to your constituents, to our residents. Last June 7, we did a little bit different, where we honor Oscar Ramos, Commissioner Oscar Ramos, who has served this community as a commissioner, who has served this community as a leader in the Philippine Independence Day Foundation. So we honor him, and I want to thank all the commissioner who have take their time to show up, and the city council was there. So we thank you for that. So these are just the few of the highlights of our department, of the Department of Parks and Recreation Commission. As a commissioner, we remain committed to making our parks a vibrant, inclusive, and responsive to our community needs. Looking ahead, we're excited to continue engaging with residents, exploring new partnerships, and supporting strategic investments in our public areas. Thank you again for your support and for recognizing the vital role that park and recreation play in the health and happiness of our community. Thank you very much, Madam Mayor. Thank you for your service, and we honor you for what you do for our community. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you. Thank you for that report. Is Captain Kane and Assistant Chief Kane here, and our captain? He left. He had to leave. Come on down, Captain. Norman, the Carson Sheriff Station. He had a fire.
Good evening, everyone. How's everyone?
Good evening. Very good.
Very good.
Thank you for being patient.
Serve your pet there. It looks so peaceful. Okay, so I'm glad to be here tonight. Wanted to share some information about what's going on here at Carson Sheriff's on the 15th. I'm sorry, June 18th, our Carson Community Relations Sergeant John Moranin presented and gave a speech to the city's Carson grand opening at the EOC, the Emergency Operations Center, on June 25th. I attended the LA 28 Olympic and Paralympic Day with the Carson city officials and at Carson Park with Madam Mayor Davis Holmes, as well as the Carson council members. On the 27th, me and the personnel attended the State of the 65th Assembly District with Assembly Member Mike Gibson and his staff, hosted by the Carson Chamber of Commerce at California State University, Dominguez Hills. And on June 28th, our newly assigned SAO Lieutenant Lumpkin and our Carson SAO and summer teams attended the Samoan Heritage Festival at Veterans Park. Tomorrow, we at Carson Station, we're hosting the parent information meeting for the Carson Deputy Explorer Program. The ages for the explorers are 14 to 20 years old. If you're interested in attending or have your children attend, and young adults, we'd like you to contact our Deputy Valdez of the Carson Station Community Relations. We're looking forward to having this celebration with the nation's 250th birthday celebration on the 4th of July. I wanted to remind Carson residents that Carson Sheriffs will be enforcing the no firework policy. This includes no safe and sane fireworks. All fireworks are illegal in the city of Carson. For the first offense, there will be a $2,000 fine. For the second violation, a $3,000 fine, and $5,000 for the third violation. All safe and sane will be cited at $1,000 each. The City of Carson, the Fire Department, LA County Fire Department, and Carson Sheriff's Department, our primary objective is to keep the residents and children of Carson safe during this very important national holiday. Some of the statistics that we have include that we are currently, our Part 1 crimes are continuing to trend down at negative 2.3%. Do you have any questions for me?
Councilman Deere.
Thank you for your report. You always give a great report, Captain Norman, and
Thank
it's
you.
much appreciated.
Mhm.
I mentioned the other day the concept of having a collection of illegal fireworks that people can turn in. Maybe they have fireworks in their garage. Maybe they bought them and then found out later that they are not allowed to shoot them off in Carson. And we could possibly collect them at the parking lot of City Hall as an example. Any ideas on how we might be able to make that work?
Well, we've already started our operation as far as confiscating citations. As a matter of fact, we did an operation of and confiscated over $1,000 in citations, and we have them stored on the outside area of the Carson Sheriff Station. Our process is that we would actually take those fireworks and then have them weighed with CHP and then hand them over to the LA County Fire Department.
So those are the ones that you confiscated, correct, Captain?
Yes, yes.
So what
And
about
so-
people voluntarily dropping off? Just like you had the drop-off boxes in the front of the station. Any possibility you could have a box? I know there's a public safety factor you have to take in consideration because these are literally explosives. And so collecting them, you can't just throw them all in a big box, and especially in this hot weather.
Right.
So is there any way to receive them safely?
I would recommend if they wanted to turn over fireworks,
fireworks,
to do so with the fire department because
To the
they're in
fire department.
Yeah, they're in the position to actually hold them, destroy them safely, and that type of thing.
That's a good idea. Maybe every fire station, if they're willing to accept them, we could let the public know. Madam Mayor, I think you and I talked about that idea.
Yes, we did. And to the city manager, can we contact all of our fire stations and make that request so we can start posting it on our social media that if you have fireworks you want to turn over, you can turn them over to at one of our stations.
Yes, we'll do. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you.
Amnesty box.
That's a good idea because, Madam Mayor, I'm hearing fireworks, illegal fireworks going off every night, at least in my neighborhood. It does seem like less than last year. I hope I'm not just being hopeful and optimistic, but it's being realistic. But we do have the illegal fireworks going off every night in the last 2-3 nights.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Captain, I know we had a on the fireworks. I didn't hear any in my community last night, by the way, but the night before, there were several reports that came into your office and to the hotline about the fireworks that were going off in the city, but in North Carson, I didn't hear any last night. And I do encourage all the residents that are listening to this council meeting that there is up to a $500 reward if you report and the person is cited. You can collect, but they must be cited. And Captain, we did not, there's some new enforcements that we have in place that we discussed last night also, yesterday, about the drones and when they're gonna be up. I did see one over my neighborhood. Maybe that's why I didn't hear any fireworks last night. But it was hovering around.
Right. Yeah, they're busy at work. Our saturation has already begun. We started and will continue saturation through July 9th. And on the 4th of July, we have every single team that will be actively out issuing citations, accepting information from the citizens as far as neighbors and so on. So we're prepared to actually go really aggressive as far as the citing on the citations for fireworks, any fireworks.
Yeah, I did get a call saying that they were less, spinning off what the Councilman Deere said, It has not been as bad, because normally we're bombarded for 2 weeks before. So thank you for the information that we shared yesterday. Councilman Hicks, MPT Hicks.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just want to say to the captain, thank you for the job you guys are doing over there.
Welcome, sir.
There's a hot spot. I think we talk about this almost every council meeting. It's at Dominguez and Santa Fe.
Yes.
This past Sunday, again, it was another hot spot with street takeover. So it seems to be an ongoing process at that intersection. Just want to bring it back to your attention, since we do have all these eyes and everything up, to just make that a priority area for the next couple of weeks, to making sure, because it seems that they don't fear, and they figure by the time the sheriffs may arrive, they've already scattered. So I just want to put that on your radar to make sure that we are in that area for Dominguez and Santa Fe.
We have that on our radar, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Captain, for being patient with us this evening.
Of course.
Okay.
Very nice presentation.
Thank you. Next is all communications for matters listed on the agenda.
We have none for those on the agenda and 4 for non-agenda.
Thank you.
Or no, we just got one for item number 5 on the agenda.
Item number 5.
It's Councilman Deere.
Okay. Councilman Deere. Number 5. Captain who?
For my 3 minutes, I want to first say thank you to Captain Norman for her report again, and thank you to my colleagues for doing a good job in your positions. I want to address the issue of the ICE officers interacting with our residents in Carson. Today was a particularly active day. We have reports from Cal State University Dominguez Hills that they used the parking lot in the university as a staging area to go after people they choose to apprehend. And that's been happening at the Home Depot Center in Carson at Sepulveda and Main Street, also the Vallarta parking lot, to the point where the management of Vallarta Supermarket actually sent home a large number of their employees today, because the employees are very afraid that they're going to be picked up, even though they may be American citizens. Even if they're not a citizen and they have work permits, they're here illegally. But as we know in Los Angeles, the ICE officers, and in some cases, people impersonating ICE officers are harassing our citizens. So I think as a city council, we probably should make a statement on what we think should be done. Of course, we want people who are criminals to be apprehended, but not people who are not breaking the law. So that's basically a comment I'd like to make, because I got so many reports today from constituents and contacting me about ICE harassing citizens and non-citizens alike, but in the city of Carson. So thank you very much.
Thank you. There has already been a statement that was issued by myself, I think 2 weeks ago. We can resend that out again. I did not hear that our residents were being harassed. I heard there was a staging at Cal State Dominguez Hills, and once they were approached, they left, and that they were housed at the DoubleTree. So we do have that information that came to us today. So thank you, but the city manager, we send out the statement that I made 2 weeks ago.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. And I believe it's actually posted on the city's website as well. So it's still there.
Okay.
So if anyone has any questions or they have any thoughts or concerns, they can check that spot.
And I think at the last meeting, our city attorney gave a statement as to what we can and cannot do. So thank you. Next is approval of the minutes.
Move approval, Madam Mayor.
Second.
Been moved and properly second. Please cast your vote.
It was Jim.
It's unanimous.
Thank you. Next is our consent calendar, items 13 through 23.
Motion to approve consent calendar?
Second.
Been moved and properly second. Anyone wants to pull an item? I'd like to pull item number 21. Approval of the consent calendar with exception of item number 21.
Councilwoman Rojas, you vote. It's unanimous.
Thank you. Item number 21, Mr. City Manager.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. So this particular item is the City of Carson is undertaking project number 1715. It's the medians plan, construct and re-landscape center medians. As part of this project, the City of Carson Streetscape Master Plan was developed by Breen Design Group and Community Works Design Group, working with city staff. The master plan provides special urban design to the city to enhance the urban green space and to improve the project for future visual quality of the City of Carson. The conceptual designs and design details illustrate the approved toolbox for all new streetscape, corridor, parkway projects administered by the city's Public Works Department. The master plan encompasses established criteria for the selection of plants, hardscape, and softscape, and other improvements located within the public median rights of way throughout the city. And so there'll be a brief presentation by city staff, I believe, just to give you a quick visual for those that are watching at home. I believe that's going to be handled by staff from Mr. Ian, who is here at the podium now, who is going to present to you a new look of what your streetscape will look like. I'm a little taken back, but we don't have our new logo up, but needless to say, we will have a new median to show you. So with that being said, staff, please.
Madam Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council, this is Mr. Ian Holtz. He's our acting traffic engineer. He's going to give a brief presentation on the work that, and if you have any questions, we'll be happy to address them. Ian?
Good evening. As the city manager described, this work was undertaken. Sorry, I'll bring this up a little bit. Thank you. Good evening. As the city manager described, this plan was developed by Breen along with CWGG, working with city staff. This plan was really developed to create conceptual plans for the medians to, beautify them in a systematic and sustainable way. They developed concepts for 4 different land types. Those are civic center, commercial, residential, and industrial. And they evaluated different elements, including the street trees, ground covers, maintenance bands, stamped concrete, shrubs, boulders, and decomposed granite. So in these next few slides, we have images showing the existing conditions, proposed improvements, and conceptual improvements for each of the 4 land use types. So we're going to start with the Civic Center. This is an image of the existing conditions adjacent to City Hall on Avalon Boulevard. And then showing some of the proposed improvements for the medians. You can notice the new trees, the flowers, covers, new maintenance band. And then we also include a visual that shows the plan view and elevation view so that it includes the details of what plants are included, the spacing, something that can be used to further develop the plans and for implementation. The next land use type is commercial. This is the existing conditions a little further north on Avalon Boulevard near the mall. Some of the proposed improvements, showing some new trees and flowers, concrete, and again, the plan and elevation view, making this into plans that can be implementable. We have our residential existing conditions. This is taken from a segment on Figueroa Street. Some of our proposed improvements, some new flowers, boulders, stamped concrete, and some of our conceptual plan, showing the plan elevation, the spacing, and how this would actually look as further refined plans. And finally, our industrial land use type. This section is from along Sepulveda. Some of our proposed improvements, some new trees, boulders, the decomposed granite in the middle, the maintenance band, and then plan and elevation view, showing how that might look on real plans and before it gets fully implemented. Any questions?
My question has been, and it will continue to be, because I was here when it was, who's gonna maintain this?
Yes.
Because it's beautiful. Councilman Hicks and I were on the committee to put this plan together along with staff. And my question, you see how beautiful City Hall looks, don't you? We get so many compliments about that. And I'm on the phone constantly with our director saying it's time to change out a plant. It's time to do this. I'm the official maintenance flower superintendent, unofficial.
So, Madam Mayor, on that, I've been actively working with our city attorney to make sure that we are still in line with what the original contract was with our current maintenance contractors. You and I have had several conversations about that, and we're putting some new plans in place that will make it a little more efficient for our maintenance. What we have now is something that we had to implement due to my arrival. The weeds were a little bit high.
Tall as me.
So we put some stopgap measures in just to keep it maintained and keep it as clean as we could. With this plan going forward, and you actually approve some of this stuff in the CIP so that we can start working on it. So I'm in conversations with Robert Lee, our city attorney, to make sure some of the tenets of the contract, we can start implementing these and replacing some of these plants probably within the next couple of weeks. So as far as the maintenance portion goes, there's a plan in place where we're going to divide the medians up throughout the city, where they're a little more effectively managed, and that's going to be coming very, very, very soon. I've been working on it for a little while now.
I'm hoping we have a project manager. I've said it before. I would not be out cutting dirt, and the sprinkler heads are down. And to this council, I know we love some of our people, but if we're gonna do this, you're gonna have to fall out of love with what we have.
Yes, ma'am.
What we have.
Yes, ma'am.
Because we cannot afford to put this kind of money on our medians and not maintain them. So when my staff, your staff, our staff, bring forward some recommendations, when you bring them forward,
yes, ma'am,
show that before picture, please.
Yes. If I may add, these plans were put in place. Ian worked very hard along with the contractors with maintenance in mind when we put this together. So that is a portion of how we're going to move forward with maintenance in mind.
Some of those, if I could too, Dr. Rogers, there's, I want to thank specifically because they're going to ensure that this is completed, Madam Mayor and Council. Some of the folks, there's, I believe, Suarez Rodriguez, Santana, Jongo Chung, they're going to be part of the project to ensure that this is going to stay maintained. So I want to thank them in advance because they're really eager to get started. And so as soon as Dr. Rogers gets this project moving forward, we believe that there's going to be implemented to ensure that this is going to stay complete and pristine the way that it will be constructed and the way that it's been shown as the rendering.
It should look like that all the time. Director Whitaker, our city hall looks I got a few little spots, but it looks, you have to maintain it every 3-6 months. You got to change out those plants. You can't go out and the plant is dying because the sprinkler head is not working. It's called boots on the ground. Where them pans at? So we're putting a lot of money into the city and making it look the way the jewel of the South Bay should look. And I'm going to be driving around and pulling up plants, and I know everyone in their district will because you want them to look good. Our residents deserve that. What we saw the before is embarrassing. It's totally embarrassing. It's clean, but it's embarrassing. Thank you.
Before we take action, sorry, Madam Mayor, let me queue up.
Well, wait a minute. Councilman Deere's queued up first.
So I want to reiterate what the mayor had to say. You know, the maintenance is essential. We're investing a lot of money to make it look good, but it only looks good for 6 months. As soon as you let the plants die, you know, you wasted all that money. So if it's not maintained, you got to start all over again. As you can see, the results of some of those medians did look good when they first put them in. Look at Carson Street. Some areas are maintained, some are not. So we've got to put it in our future budgets. You know, just like our streets in Carson at one time were in great condition, and then for about 5 years there was deferred maintenance, and the streets looked terrible, and there had potholes and stuff. That's why we had to invest millions of dollars to fix it. So this is another example of how a plan that looks great on paper and in the pictures, it's only as good as the maintenance. So do you have an outline of the maintenance? Like, for instance, are all of these plants native plants to California, or are they imported?
The native plants were a priority in terms of the selection process. I don't believe every single plant is, but most of them are, and that was a priority for developing the concepts.
Okay, so even the succulents, the cactus type plants, they need to have some water at some times. And if there's not enough rainwater during the course of a year, then you got to supply at least a drip irrigation system or something like that.
Yep.
And so I just want to conclude by saying that as soon as the water system breaks down, like we see them broken pipes, those plants aren't going to get water; they're going to die, and then we're right back to the drawing board again. So thank you. I think you got the message from us.
Yep. Thank
you. I think the city manager got the message.
Well, my message is to each one of my colleagues: these are your districts. If I could drive all over the city, you want your districts to be maintained and look good. City manager gets calls from me frequently. He said he love them. And our director, I walk City Hall every day. Don't be killing my plants. They're mine. So, Councilman Hicks.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just had one question in regards to the plant material. Are we utilizing local growers that are here in the city? And if not, we need to look at our local growers that are in our community. In addition to that, they can possibly adopt a median to maintain some of those areas as well, because now they're invested in their own medians, and that they are invested in what's being grown and maintained at each one of those sites.
Yes, MPT, we can consider all those options. We are looking at local growers though for our supply, and we can try to incorporate some adoptive medians where appropriate.
I just want to make sure we recycle the dollars that are here in our community, that you have our businesses that are here. Some are small businesses, some are bigger, but they're known growers, and some of them have been here for years, so they know what they're doing. So we need to utilize them for our own city where they actually operate out of.
Mr. City Manager, if I may, Mayor Pro Tem, we actually, for all of our park sites, we do use local growers. We use every single one here in the city of Carson first. And then if they don't have the equipment that we need, we go out from there. But we do use all local growers. And we also have been working with Public Works, with their staff also in regards to some of the plants and things that we utilize. I will say that we probably have about 10 to 12 nurseries here in the city of Carson. There's a lot of nurseries. But it's very seldom that we have to go outside. In most cases, we do utilize our local City of Carson growers.
Okay, I just want to make sure that be in place.
All of the plants that you see when you walk up City Hall came from Maria's nursery. All of them. And they'll be replaced because those are her plants.
That is correct. We have a walkthrough next week.
Thank you. I don't have to call you. Dr. Hilton.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. While they're walking, you think they can walk past Avalon by the 91? Our medium up there is incredibly terrible.
That's the first one.
And just even I know that Caltrans, they do one side, but I think as we're beautifying our city and as our jewel is shining brighter and brighter, these areas are important. Whether Caltrans, whether we have to do it for them and send them a bill, because these are our medians. These freeway entrances are incredibly ridiculous when it comes to our freeways. You don't go to any other communities and see these freeways that way. I know that's not our area, it's Caltrans area, but even the Walnut Place, even up Walnut, that's our area. I don't want my residents in Centerview to feel like they're, second-class citizens because their medians is out of control. I think, we gotta do it all over the city. I agree. But particularly, I'm concerned about my district. I get calls about the medians all the time, and I share them with Dr. Rogers. But please, let's try to figure out what we can do to swap responsibilities or bill Caltrans, because we have to do something in regards to these medians. Every freeway entrance that's leading into Carson, going out of Carson, they treat us at a disadvantage, and they don't do what they're supposed to do.
Dr. Hilton, if I may, they don't treat us at a disadvantage anymore. I have a working relationship with them. I'm actually doing a tour with their deputy director and the assistant deputy director coming up. My assistant, Deanna Galan, is actually setting that meeting up. We just had a meeting, I want to say last week with that team. You'll notice the improvement right there coming west on the 91, exit Main Street, where it was pretty horrible. Now you see some vegetation there. It's cacti, but I didn't request that, but they are doing some things, and we are making some improvements with the relationship that has been built. To your point of Avalon and the 91, that's the first stop or the first installation of this median plan due to the World Cup coming up.
Grateful. And then even when we get up central, like that little area that separates the freeway from Stevenson Village, sometimes that grass just grows up. They forget all about it. If we had to send our team over there to cut it and send them a bill, we got to do that.
Central and?
Central, and I would say that's Artesia. Maybe that's Artesia coming up the 91 where the freeway has the...
It's the back end of Albertoni.
Yeah, the back end of Albertoni.
That'll be on the tour. So it has been neglected. I've been in constant meetings with them. Yeah. We have built a relationship with them, and they agreed to do a tour with me.
I'm willing to go on tour with you through District 1. I just wanted to offer my
yes, sir.
Tour guide assistance if you need.
Absolutely. Would
willing
love
to be a tour guide.
Madam Mayor.
Queue up, MPT.
What's up?
Okay. Thank you for your presentation of this Streetscape Master Plan. Looks great, and I'm looking forward to the beautification and getting our city to look just like the jewel of the South Bay. Dr. Rogers, thank you for paying attention, special attention to the Scottsdale community and outside. So we're going to keep working on that. And it's looking good, baby steps, but we're on our way. So thank you for that. And what is our time? Just so people are always asking, what are we looking at as far as
for
Go ahead.
implementation of this?
Yes.
Completion, it's a multi-year because there's a lot of medians in the city of Carson, and this is not a project you want to rush. And with the maintenance, the skeleton maintenance plan that we're putting together, we already have one of our other engineers, our stormwater engineer, Mr. Roland Jin, who's working on that plan to implement. So it's a multi-year project, but it's not going to just stop at the 91. That one was selected due to its location, to the proximity of a world class event that's coming to the city. But there are no areas that we will neglect. but we had to start somewhere, and that area was chosen simply because of the event.
Well, thank you. District 4 thanks you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Point taken.
Madam Mayor, if I can add to, within the current fiscal year, you all did approve a CIP project for construction on the medians. I believe it was in the amount of about $10 million in the first year. So that's already on the way.
Well, whatever it takes, because we're going to be global. The Olympics are coming, Paralympics, and we will not have our medians looking like our neighbors.
Okay. Our neighbors. Nice way. Madam Mayor, just a quick note to the staff to include the railroads. That was one of the concerns in District 3. We have the railroads that run through all the way around. They need to be a part of that, and to a request from the auto industry on Auto Row, whatever plant material that you put in there, it has to be at a certain height that it doesn't go too high because people cannot see going in and out of the dealership. So making sure it doesn't block their view.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. We will look into that. We'll contact the railroads because unfortunately they have to give us access. It's illegal for us to occupy, but we'll advise them of such. We have continued to build relationships with them when we've had to have certain aspects removed, such as just leftover debris from folks just dropping things off. So we have had those conversations, but it's still a challenge. So we actually, we need your help into having some of those conversations being engaged. It's just there's been a lot of confabulation happening in the past couple of years, but nothing that's been concrete yet, set in stone. But we're hoping that we'll be able to solidify and get something married up quick here. So,
all right.
Thank you, everyone.
Madam Mayor, I thought of one other thing I'd like to mention to staff.
Okay.
Of course, for another government agency property, we have to have an encroachment permit from them, and sometimes City of Long Beach or Caltrans is not that easy to get, but we do need that. On private property, we should be able to, work with the property owners, and maybe this work in conjunction with the litter cleanup, like City Manager mentioned. There's a lot of debris along the railroad tracks, just litter that's blown there or thrown there, and the graffiti ratification efforts. Because when the Olympics do come here, it's going to be a lasting impression. People are going to go home to other places of the world and say, and Carson was a beautiful city, or they're going to have a wrong impression of us. And we don't want them to have the wrong impression. So as you were talking, I was thinking, the staff was talking, I was thinking that one of the reasons the medians get into bad condition is not just not having the personnel and staff to maintain it, but a lot of pedestrians, homeless people in some cases, they trample the plants. So just the night before last, there was apparently a homeless individual sleeping in the median right across the street from my house on Figueroa Street. So maybe as an acting traffic engineer working with the public works director, there may be some areas where you want to put stones or concrete where people are constantly passing over there, and you aren't going to be able to stop them unless you put pedestrian dividers in, like we have on Delamo Boulevard, just east of Avalon Boulevard. That's a black wrought iron fence that works pretty well to prevent pedestrians from coming across. It's also a safety factor. So you probably have already thought about this, but I wanted to mention it publicly. If you can look at where those pedestrian barriers can be put, and also signage might be useful as well. So just some ideas I thought I'd put out there. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. No further comments. Thank you, staff. I'm looking forward to the starting of this project. So go on, Cedric. You're on the ad hoc committee.
Motion to approve. Staff. I didn't get it out good. Motion to approve staff's recommendation.
Second.
I think Hilton seconded it.
Yeah, yeah.
Dr. Hilton.
Dr. Hilton. Yeah, ready second if I can get it out.
Councilman Deere, can you vote?
I did.
Okay, there it is. It's unanimous.
Thank you. Item number 24 is a special order of the day. Madam City Clerk, was it properly posted?
The notice of public hearing has been given pursuant to applicable law, including but not limited to proof of timely publication received by our office, the city clerk's office. The agenda posting requirements were met for individuals and organizations. The posting affidavits are on file in the city clerk's office, and no written communication was received.
Thank you. We're going to open the public hearing, so there's no public comments. So we'll close the public hearing. Mr. City Manager.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. So item number 24 is to consider introduction and first reading of ordinance number 25-2514 and introduction and adoption of urgency ordinance number 25-2515U as in uniform, making a finding of applicability of CEQA guidelines sections 15061 B's and Bravo 3 and approving various amendments to the text of the city's zoning ordinance related to community development director approval, authority and requirements, and city council review procedures for your recommendation and discussion. Thank you.
Council, anyone want to speak on this item? No, I closed the public hearing.
No, I just, I want to applaud the mayor for putting this on the agenda. It is very heartbreaking sometimes to hear about projects in my community on Carson 411 or hear about things that are happening in our community. Residents know they're happening before we know they're happening. And I think it's very important to have a line of communication to know what's going on, know what's being there, knowing if the residents will approve it. And sometimes the residents have constant dialogue about why council are making those decisions, and some of those decisions we didn't know anything about. So I want to just applaud the mayor and the city management staff for putting this item on the agenda, because I think it's very important that we are informed of every plan and every permit that goes out. I hear people say all the time, we don't want another automated, maybe I shouldn't say that, but you know, we don't want another fast food restaurant, or we don't want this, or we don't want that. Some of the ways that we have no choice over it, sometimes we find out after it's time to appeal, and we are past the appeal process. So I want to just say I'm in full support. I don't know if my other colleagues want to talk, but I'm in full support to move this forward tonight. Consider introduction and the first reading of ordinance number 25-2514, and introduction and adoption of an urgency ordinance number 25-2515U, making findings applicable of CEQA guidelines section 15061B3, and approving various amendments to the text of the city zoning ordinance related to community development director approval authority and requirements and city council review procedures.
Second.
Oh, Councilman Hicks, are you queued up?
Yeah, I was.
Mayor Pro Tem Hicks, I'm sorry.
I was queued up just to staff, to the city attorney. There, AB 609 in dealing with CEQA was just approved at the state level in regards to CEQA for housing. And what it's doing now is bypassing where they don't even have to go through a CEQA anymore to build homes in the state of California. So my concern is where we had to understand that process now that it was passed as of yesterday. It passed yesterday.
Yeah, I believe that's AB 130 from what I looked at today. This was literally approved by the governor today.
Yes.
So we're going to get a full summary and a full analysis of that bill. But my understanding, just on a first impression summary, kind of reading news articles and things of that nature, is that it exempts infill housing development projects from CEQA.
Okay.
Which is a significant development in state law, and it takes effect immediately. And we're going to be getting you a full analysis on that.
All righty, thank you.
And if I also may, Madam Mayor, not to digress from that topic, but going back to the item, there's also a recommendation for a number 3. You don't see it on the board there, but if I may just read it for the record. This is also to introduce and adopt urgency ordinance number 25-2515U, an urgency ordinance of the City of Carson, California, making a finding of applicability of CEQA guidelines sections 15061B3, making a finding of urgency pursuant to Chapter Section 313F as in Frank, and approving various amendments to the text of the city's zoning ordinance related to community development director approval, authority and requirements, and city council review procedures. So just wanted to read that for the record as you complete your votes.
Thank you. Been moved. Councilman Hicks, are you queued up? Mayor
No,
Pro Tem? That was you, I'm sorry.
Madam Mayor.
So,
Councilman Deere.
Okay, Councilman MPT Hicks, you're
No,
okay?
he spoke.
Okay, so what I wanted to mention was the motion was made to include section 2 on our staff report, and then the city manager brought in section 3. So I think
Friendly amendment. I mean,
friendly amendment.
I
I'll
accept
make that
it.
a friendly amendment if he'll accept it. And-
Friendly amendment.
Okay, thank you.
It's been moved and properly second with the. Please cast your vote.
It's unanimous, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Item number 25 is, we can just continue that because I don't have any appointments, so we'll continue that.
Your mine are complete. Thank you.
My colleagues, please review because you got a couple of vacancies here and there. One is, but we did your economic development. It's pending, I guess. Okay. Oral communications for matters not listed on the agenda.
There are 3 speakers.
Thank you.
Okay. The first is Michelle Pino. Hi, Miss Michelle. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Good evening, council members, mayor. My name is Michelle Pino. I am the new library manager at Carson Library, so I would like to introduce myself. This is my first time joining you guys for the city council meeting, so I'm excited to share some of the programs we're going to be having at Carson. So for early children programs, ages 0 to 5, we have Play and Explore, Saturdays, July 5th and 19th at 10:30 a.m. Circle Time, Saturdays, July 12th and 26th at 10:30 a.m. Smarty Pants Story Time, Friday, July 11th at 10:30 a.m. Children's programs from ages 5 to 12, we have Summer Kids Club, Wednesdays, July 2nd and 16th at 4 p.m. Yoga for Kids, Saturday, July 5th, 12th, 19, and 26 at 2 p.m. Rudy's Radical Science Show, Wednesday night, July 9th at 4 p.m. And a magic show, Wednesday, July 23rd at 4 p.m. Movie at the library will be, there'll be a community screening of Moana. It'll be on July 30th at 4 p.m. For adults and all ages programs, we have Weekend Book Club, Saturday, July 26th at 2 p.m. Technology Instruction Workshop, Thursday, July 24th at 11 a.m. An award-winning movie Friday, July 25th at 3 p.m. All of our programs are free. They're open to the public, and a lot of them is made possible through support of our dedicated friends of the library. So we hope to see you there, and thank you for having me tonight.
And welcome.
Madam Mayor.
Yes, Councilman.
To Michelle, congratulations on your new position. Well, I just want to say congratulations. You can just wave, is okay. Yes, certainly. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you.
Next, we have Brandy Lewin.
Hi.
Hello, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you so much. Good evening, Madam Mayor.
Good evening.
Mayor Pro Tem Cedric Hicks, my councilman, you tired, huh? You do a lot. Councilman Dr. Juwan Hilton, Councilman Jim Deere, and Councilwoman Arlene Rojas, thank you so much for your service. Happy birthday to Dr. Bradshaw in her absence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Dr.
birthday,
Bradshaw,
Dr.
wherever you
Bradshaw.
are.
I'm grateful to be here before you this evening. While we initially anticipated presenting the Disabilities Committee plan tonight as we discussed the last council meeting, we understand and respect the direction to first present to the Human Relations Commission again before returning to the body on August 1st. We fully support this process, especially as we plan to collaborate with the commission and want to ensure their valuable input is reflected in the final proposal that we bring to you. So the directive that I got through the city manager and through Michael is that through the discussion, you want us to go there first and come back. We respect it. So we will be presenting to them at their next meeting on July 18th, although that's a Friday. I want to check that date. And then back here on August 1st with you. There were a few community members that came out from the Disabilities Committee because we anticipated presenting tonight. So I want to thank them this evening for their support and take a moment to acknowledge them as well as their work that they've done by so many as a collective. So will you guys stand? I know you don't want to, but the four of you guys, will you stand? There's Luz Padua, there's Becky Stansfield, there's Miss Joyce Perkins, and there's Jennifer. So I believe we should give them a round of applause. We've been working on this for 3 months. So thank you. We truly appreciate your partnership and look forward to returning on August 1st to share the full presentation. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
We have,
Is that it?
it's one more. Miss Luz, I can't get the last name. Miss Luz. I don't want to mess that up. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Good evening.
How are
Madam
you?
Mayor, fine. Thank you, Madam Mayor, City Councilman, and City Councilwoman, and staff. I just want to reiterate Brandy's comments and just say thank you, how grateful we are that we do have the opportunity to present. While we thought it was tonight, we understand the process and honor it and respect it, and we'll be back here August 1st. But I did want to mention a couple of things. That July, did you know? July is Disabilities Pride Month. And so I look forward to working together with the city and with the committee to create something wonderful for the future, especially since you, Councilman Deere, mentioned that the city of Carson is going to be having a lot of visitors from different parts of the world, and we do not want to give the wrong impression. So I echo that sentiment, specifically since we will be having the Paralympics here in 2028. So I definitely look forward to the work that will be done in preparation for that, so that the world knows that the city of Carson believes that everybody is included in Carson, not just abled bodies. So thank you for the support that you've been giving us. And I do want to say a big thank you to Brandy, who has been, all of us have been working hard, but Brandy has been taking the brunt of putting everything together and kind of keeping us going and helping us out. So I want to give a shout out to Brandy. And just once again, just thank you. Thank you all for the support that you've been giving us and that I anticipate will continue to give us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's all we have.
Thank you. Thank you. That was quick and brief and to the point. Council members' requests for future agenda items. Oral communications, council members. MPT.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just want to say to everyone, happy 4th of July. Remember, there are no fireworks in the city of Carson. Also, attended the Samoan Heritage Day over at Veterans Park and was very pleased with the attendance and to the kudos to the planning, the staff, to Parks and Recreation Department for an outstanding event at Veterans Park. Requesting from staff, can you bring back a timeline for the park constructions? Because I know that in our last council meeting, we rejected the bids for Mills Park. So we just need to figure out what is going to be the next steps in that process so that we can keep the residents abreast of what's happening at their park sites as well as the other parks that are under construction as well. And then my last piece is the Red Curb Initiative. I know the sheriff, I think she left, that was something that they had requested to making sure for them to cite the red curb needs to be red, not pink or another color, because individuals are able to go to court and will fight the ticket because they're saying it wasn't a red curb. So that's one of my reasons behind the Red Curb Initiative, to assist us in our parking in the area. So in our neighborhoods that people just don't park anywhere. They have to park in designated areas within the city. I'm complete, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Anyone else? Councilman Deere.
Are we doing oral communications together with requests, all in one?
Well, no one said anything on all communications.
Okay,
I
great.
mean,
So I'll just say happy American Independence Day to everyone. Happy 4th of July. Please have a safe 4th of July. And as you know, fireworks are not allowed in Carson except for at the Dignity Health Sports Park, where there will be a professional fireworks display open to the public. So people who really want to see a great show, the Galaxy is hosting that fireworks show, and the the Dignity Health Sports Park is, of course, accommodating Carson residents. Their soccer practice fields are going to be available for viewing area, and you should feel free to attend there. Parking may be an issue. I don't know if there's during the Galaxy game, they don't fill the entire parking lot, so there will be some parking spaces available. But I think they may be charging for those spaces. Otherwise, if you can park another area and carpool or shuttle there, or take Uber or Lyft or taxis, that might reduce the congestion. The other thing is Samoan Heritage Day was a big success, and having it at Veterans Park instead of Paseo Park was a change, but it seemed to be they had a lot of vendors and a lot of people participating in that, and great entertainment. So that concludes my comments. Thank you very much.
Before I go to Dr. Hilton, Dr. Lennox, with the dignity, what's going on?
Yes, Madam Mayor, just a brief correction to Councilman Deere's comments. The show that's being put on by Dignity Health through AEG and Galaxy is an in-stadium show. The free viewing for residents is on a ticket basis. Tickets are free. The flyer that we've already pushed out expresses the details about how to sign up for that. If somebody can't do it on their phone or computer, no problem. They can still show up at the gate and do it right then and get in. The viewing is not available on the practice fields. It's only in the stadium. I just want to make sure that's clear. We will, though, be having a free shuttle from here at City Hall and the Community Center to Dignity Health, so that you don't have to pay for parking if you are a Carson resident.
And that shuttle is going to start at 8:30, 8:15?
Actually, 7:30, I believe it begins. Yes.
Because the show starts at 8:30.
Correct.
Okay, so anyone that needs a shuttle should come to the community center.
Yes, ma'am.
The west parking lot?
The north parking lot.
The north
The
parking
north. That's where the shuttle
north
pickup
parking
is
lot.
at the north lot.
By the sheriff's station.
Correct.
Yes.
Thank you.
And it's free. We're trying to get a count of how many people registered and how many to anticipate. But if we're not able to register online, you can register at the venue. Do you know how many people have registered so far?
I do not. However, they did tell us they have ample space at the moment, so it's still
no,
promising.
actually, Madam Mayor, it's actually sold out.
Well,
they are sold out. They said all
told
tickets,
they were sold out.
All tickets have been
even the lawn seating
counted. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It is going to be packed.
So, Madam Mayor, I do have a question about it. So it's not going to be visible outside of the stadium?
It will not.
Because stadium is low
Correct.
and it's just going to be right there. I see. Interesting. Okay, thank
Well,
you.
they're not using the
like-
same fireworks that they used to use also, I found out. So
Correct.
next year it will come back, but this year they're just doing a lower level. And it's not going to last as long either.
A smaller show.
It's
I
a
see.
smaller show.
I see.
So
Thank
their seats are going to be inside the stadium. That's why, because they're not selling out their tickets for like they normally do, because they haven't been winning games. So, well, it's the truth. So the residents will have an actual seat inside the stadium. Okay. Doctor, you didn't get a seat. You know you can get in anytime.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was a glitch. I did call the new director and asked him, was it a glitch? And they said they were experiencing some level of challenges when people were logging on. I logged in the first 5 minutes when it came out, and I was thinking it was something might have been wrong with my AXS app or something, that it wasn't connecting. But he said that there was some level of something. So if they could make some minor adjustments to see if they could allow people in who may have missed that cutoff moment, that's something maybe you guys can call about. I did see that I just had looked on our website. It was saying that it was completely maxed on our social media. So yeah,
But you can't see from there.
but they say you can't see it from there. So if we can help those residents, because there's a lot of residents who called me today to see if they could possibly get in or have some way of them seeing them. I just wanted to, is it my time? I want to say happy 4th of July, happy birthday to Dr. Bradshaw. It is today. Happy birthday. Mine will be in the next 6 days, so I'm excited about that. Thank you. Mine will be in the next 6 days. I hope to see all my colleagues at the fireworks show on when is that? Friday? This is the 4th of July on Friday? Yeah. On the 4th of July, same day. I hope to see all my colleagues there. Me and my family will be there. I know this is going to be different for us, Carson, but I think it's going to be great, So make sure you're there and not out there popping fireworks, because they will be sighting. You heard the captain saying they'll give you a $2,000 ticket for fireworks. They'll give you a $1,000 ticket for safe and sane fireworks. So I've been riding through the city and I've been seeing all the signs. So can't say you weren't informed, because they're doing a good job of giving you information. So thank you so much. Again, happy 4th of July to everybody.
Councilwoman.
Yes, thank you. Let's see. I'll start with the Samoan Heritage Day. That was a great day. Thank you, staff, for getting the jets over there, because that is from my time. And then I got to spend a lot of time with my old classmates from Carson High School class of '84 at that festival. So great day. And again, the jets did a great job. Going back to our fireworks, there is a $500 reward for tips leading to a citation, and the number to call if you want to claim that and you have some viable information is 310-952-1786. All fireworks are illegal in the city of Carson, and just in case we can't get any extra space for this, in the South Bay, Redondo Beach at Seaside Lagoon has a show. Torrance Civic Center also has a show free with a ticket. El Segundo has their fireworks show. Long Beach has one at the waterfront, at the Queen Mary, and Harbor Cruises. These are all cities where all fireworks are illegal, but they do celebrate as we do here in the city of Carson. So happy July 4th. Happy Independence Day, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, and happy birthday.
And happy birthday. Dr. Hilton, did you queue up again?
Yes, all of my colleagues mentioned being at the Samoan Heritage event. I had a funeral, and I was unable to make it. So I want to apologize that there was no level of disrespect for me not showing up to a community event. Sometimes lifes. And I just wanted to let everybody know that. I had reached out to Tommy Provide just to let him know. But sometimes life. So I just wanted to, I know my colleagues represent it well, and sometimes we can't make it to every event, but I just wanted to put it on the record tonight that it was no disrespect, that life was just lifing. All right.
Thank you. And it was a great event. I was there in attendance. And kudos to the staff, and the volunteers did a phenomenal job. I think it's about 40 of them that helped put that event together under their new nonprofit. And to the staff, Mike Whitaker, you guys always do an awesome job. It was very, very, very well attended. And to our residents, we're a safe, free zone. And you know what? I'm so to the staff, you guys have done a wonderful job in educating the community on the safe and sane and all the fireworks. The signs are out, and I feel good because other cities are copying us. They're using our same slogans. LA lighted, you get cited. Inglewood's saying the same thing. They have mimicked what we were doing because everybody was quiet at first. But I always tell people they're not like us. We just jump out there and make it happen. And our residents are pleased to know that we're doing everything that we can. There'll be additional educational information that will be coming out this weekend. But the signs are up. The street public works director, your signs, your portable signs are working. I see them throughout the city. So if someone says they don't know and they've received flyers in the mail and text messaging, constant contact, staff has covered all the bases. And to my Lulu girls sitting back there, kudos to you. I know I get on you sometimes, but they have been working around the clock with the staff.
Lulu.
The Lulu girls. So thank you. Job well done, and happy Independence Day. Be safe. Do not memorial adjournments. Oh, that is at the bottom, isn't it? I didn't check that off. But anyway, thank you to the staff, and now we'll have memorial adjournments.
All right, we got a unfortunately lengthy list tonight. First, we have Angelina Davis, Sheila D. Ward, Brian Raber II, who is son of our former council member Julie Raber and her husband Brian Raber, Ramon Ray Madrigal.
Raymond Madrigal. He's
Raymond.
Ramona's, is that her brother or husband?
Spouse of former city staff Marina Madrigal.
That's her brother or husband?
Spouse.
Ooh. Ray Madrigal?
Former commissioner.
He's
a former planning commissioner.
Ray Madrigal was a former planning commissioner.
I'm assuming this is Jimmy with an E at the end, Holmes.
Yes, Jimmy Holmes.
Theron Jackson. Walter Scott of the Whispers. Uncle of city staff Rich Major Edward Maciel Sr. Esther Ramirez Barba. Mother of city staff Jan Tupuola Siasoi Tali. And mother of city staff Angela Zambrano, who is also named Angela Zambrano.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager, all of our staff that lost mothers and all our former commissioners. This already done? Okay, thank you. You guys are on it. My bishop.
Let's pray. Father, we pray now that you would bless these families whose names that were called. We pray that you strengthen them, encourage them, and keep them hold near and dear to your promise not to leave them comfortless. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen.
Thank you. Staff, you have any comments?
I just want to say one thing, Madam Mayor, to Mr. Whitaker and his team for the LA 28 event, along with you all coming and attending. That was amazing. In 5 days for them to get that together and have Nike come and sponsor and give kids a pair of Nike tennis shoes. I know Mr. Whitaker and I, we kind of laughed about it because when you get something free, it's typically, the cheapest quality that can be provided. But these were actually Nike Pegasus. So if you're a runner or these weren't just the average Nikes. These were actually Pegasus that they provided for all the kids. There's over 400 children with Nike Pegasus shoes as well as T-shirts. And so the team put such a tremendous effort. I just really wanted to thank them for this last minute effort and putting all that together. It was really a tremendous event. And we definitely know that there'll be a mass covering of this particular event next year as we move closer to the Olympic and Paralympic Games. But just wanted to publicly thank him and the team for all that they did that day.
And how did we forget that? You should have whispered in my ear. It was an awesome event. I had to rearrange my calendar because I thought it was just a small event. But it was awesome. The kids enjoyed it. They had a ball. And those were some good tennis shoes. I wanted a pair to put in my closet, but I wouldn't dare take one, and the child didn't have one. So please send, I know Nike, we should send them did you send them a thank you for all their support?
It went to LA 28.
LA 28, yeah, Vic was there. He was just amazed at how we jumped around as council people. It was so he'll have to go to other cities. Inglewood, they're so laid back, but we know how to celebrate our young people, and it was just wonderful. So thank you, Mike. Job well done. I know our event is gonna be represent Carson, because you're running lead. You and our city manager, and to all the staff. Michael George, thank you. You quiet, but he gets the job done. So thank you very much. You're not going unnoticed, okay? Thank you. And with that, I'll say happy 4th and good night.